The shingles vaccine not only offers protection against the painful viral infection, a new study suggests that the two-dose shot also may slow the progression of dementia. The Stanford University-led study looked at the health records of over 300,000 individuals from Wales and Australia. And the senior author of this study is Pascal Geldsetzer and joins me now from San Diego in the United States. A very good morning to you, Pascal. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Can you take me through in a little bit more detail exactly what the study looked at and how it was conducted?
Yeah, absolutely. So the basic problem we usually have with these kinds of studies is that we have to compare people who get vaccinated to those who don't. And these people have got very different health behaviors. Here we had the unique opportunity in the UK and also in Australia, and the way in which the vaccine was rolled out using specific date of birth cutoffs, that meant that you had patient groups whose only difference was a tiny difference in age, but they had this massive difference of ever getting the vaccine because of these eligibility rules. And now we've got beautiful comparison groups where we know they must be similar in all characteristics, and we're able to get a cause and effect in a much more convincing manner than we usually.
Yeah, great. So, Pascal, what did this follow-up study find?
So in our first study, we showed that there's a large protective effect for dementia prevention. Here in this new study, we show that even in the very early stages, there's already a protective effect, namely for mild cognitive impairment, kind of a pre-dementia stage, if you like. And also there are protective effects among those who already have dementia at the time of becoming eligible for vaccination.
Okay, how unexpected or exciting are these findings from the latest, the follow-up study?
I think they're very important findings in the sense that we now know that the vaccine appears to have broader effects on the dementia disease process. And we know that these effects are large. The implications for population health and dementia research, if these really reflect true cause and effect, would be immense. And that's, I think, very exciting.
So I guess the next question then, it just appears to have an impact on slowing dementia. What do you do now to confirm that relationship?
So the dream is to be able to conclusively test this link between shingles vaccination and dementia in a true randomized clinical trial. And that's what I'm currently trying to raise funds for from philanthropy, private foundations, because we want to use the old life-attenuated shingles vaccine, which is off patent, which is the vaccine that we have been generating all this evidence for from these unique natural experiments. And because it's off patent, of course, there's little commercial interest.
Mm. And what sort of timeline would that dream be, do you think?
It's we are seeing our largest effects after about 4 years. So a 4-year follow-up period, a 5 to 6 year total project period would be entirely feasible, I think.
Mm-hmm. And while it's not conclusive right now, in the studies that you've done, what sort of tangible outcomes were you seeing with those people who had had the two vaccines? Was their memory clearer? Was their cognitive function better? What did you see?
So we are seeing effects on very well-measured outcomes in electronic health record data. So that is diagnoses for mild cognitive impairment, diagnoses of dementia, and particularly deaths due to dementia. So that's a very well-measured outcome in these data. We know when people die. But in other work, we're also seeing improvements in cognitive test performance, for example.
Do you have an understanding of exactly what it is in the vaccine that impacts the brain or protects the brain?
We have got, I think, very biologically plausible hypotheses for which we also have some evidence. The basic intuition that the chickenpox virus remains hibernated in your nervous system for life, is in this constant interplay with the immune system, causes some inflammation, inflammation being a bad thing. So reducing this through a vaccination may well have benefits. But there may also be mechanisms through a broader boost to the immune system in old age that may have benefits.
Okay, and you mentioned there you were looking at people who had been vaccinated in Wales and also Australia. Should you get your wish and continue your studies into this area, do you think that Australian data will be used again?
Absolutely. So Australia is one of the key countries for our research because it's one of the few countries in the world that have rolled out vaccination, shingles vaccination, using these specific date of birth cutoffs. And that's exactly what we need to be able to generate this unique type of evidence, which is much closer to the evidence that we would get from a gold standard clinical trial and much more convincing than the usual correlational evidence that we get from standard epidemiological analyses.
Pascal Geldsetzer, Assistant Professor of Medicine at Stanford University. Really interesting to talk to you about your study.
Thank you so much for having me.